What a week from the resignation of a former Massachusetts Senate president to a wild shift back and forth in the Trump presidency. It has been quite a few days. So as always on Friday, we're joined by WBZ political analyst John Keller, who hopefully can break it all down for us. And let's start with President Trump. On Friday, he walked back the comments from his new attorney, Rudy Giuliani, who claimed that the president knew about a hush payment made to porn star Stormy Daniels, but now apparently he said he didn't have his facts straight.
Rudy knows it's a witch hunt. He started yesterday. He'll get his facts straight. He's a great guy.
So what's your take?
He'll get his facts straight. That could be sort of a sub-trolling mantra.
If he knows what's good for him.
For the entire administration. I mean, they can't. It's the problem. It's the problem with the Stormy Daniels situation. It's the problem with the Russia probe. Nobody can seem to get their story straight. And, you know, that's what happens when you're playing fast and loose with the facts. The fact that he's down to Rudy Giuliani, all due respect to the former mayor, I don't think anyone in the legal profession thinks he still has his fastball when it comes to the law. But this bizarre episode where he's making the rounds of Fox and all this other media.
News.
Yeah, making big news, directly contradicting previous statements by the president himself and by the poor press secretary, Sarah Sanders. I almost felt sorry for her the other day, getting shredded by the White House press corps for having lied in their faces about this in the past. But, you know, this is just a sort of a chronic undertone in the entire administration. What is it that you're trying to say? What is the message? What are the facts? They don't have any of that straight, and they get in trouble as a result.
Seems like yet another strategy shift, and Rudy Giuliani might want to be careful because, as we've seen before, the president really doesn't like it when one of his underlings steals the headlines.
No, that's true. Good point.
A lot to watch there. And longtime Massachusetts Senate President Stan Rosenberg resigning and stepping away from Beacon Hill. This was a fast-moving story this week. What did you make of how it played out?
Well, you know, one thing I haven't heard, I don't think enough talk about is, while certainly the charges against Hefner and the allegations of behavior are just outrageous and terrible for the victims there, and certainly Rosenberg is and should be paying a price for his role in all this, his failure to keep his promise to create this firewall. This is a human tragedy.
It is.
I mean, Stan Rosenberg devoted his life to public service, was widely respected for the way he handled himself. Now his personal and professional lives are in ruins. Having said that, this was also a story about Beacon Hill, in particular the Massachusetts State Senate. The investigators they hired with $230,000 of your tax money basically concluded that, well, Rosenberg did a lot of things wrong, but he didn't violate any Senate rules, which, to my mind, raises a question, what kind of rules are these?
Sure. I mean, in any private firm, you would never have access to your spouse's email with that company, right? Why would someone allow access to their email in leadership at the State House?
And if you essentially turned a blind eye to flagrant sexual harassment, you'd be out the door in a big hurry in most companies these days. So they've got a lot of work to do to restore some measure of public trust that they're backing up their rhetoric about compassion and concern for victims with actual action and institutional change.
Definitely a lot of catching up to do. John Keller, thanks so much.
Have a great weekend, Paula.
You too.
Thank God it's Friday.
What a week. You got to recover from this one. We have more, of course, from John Keller every day on WBZ News starting at 5 o'clock and always here on CBSBoston.com.